So today we will be mainly focusing on the commercial business for the solar panels and how AIKO could make improvement for the asset owner, how we can improve the yield, mainly the technical output of the solar system, and how this will enhance the business case. Before we jump to that, I would like briefly to introduce AIKO as a company for the new guys who's joining these webinars for the first time, and also run through the products and the features we have, and then jump to the C&I part. So first of all, I would like to thank every one of you for joining this webinar session. My name is Mohammed Ali Shrouf. I'm taking care of the product and solution with AIKO. I'm now with them for almost 2.5 years. So basically witnessed the first era of AIKO presence in Europe. So talking about AIKO, I would say the company in general is very technology driven, and we managed so far, and just talking about the numbers, we managed so far to ship 170 gigawatt of solar cells and modules. The group of AIKO has more than 10,000 employees. 20% of our colleagues mainly focused on the research and development. We have 3 research and development bases, 2 in China and 1 here in Germany, where I am based, 1 in Freiburg in the Chinese city. We have a decent global presence, more than 20 branches. And if we focus on Europe, I would say we have basically we have 5 teams taking care of different regions in Europe. I belong to Northern Europe team. Let's say our strategy always to be very close to our customers, so not just selling the panels, provide them full support and full awareness of our products and our abilities, I would say. So I think most of you started to hear about AIKO in the last 2-3 years. Yeah, in fact, our journey started in 2009. So from that time till 21, I would say 2021, AIKO was mainly just focusing on the solar cell manufacturing and development. So as I said, we are a very technology-driven company. We have invented, for example, in 2016, the tubular PERC cells. In 2019, we invented the G12, the big cells you see nowadays in the big panels. So I would say that during that time, we call it the P-type era. And starting from the N-type era, AIKO invented the ABC cell. So ABC stands for all back contact. So we managed to place the electrical circuit from the back side of the cell, and this gives us the chance to boost the power output and efficiency of the cells and panels as well. In 2024, we even did one step further. We implemented the infinite technology to our panels, and also the efficiency of the panels could reach 25%. Moving forward to the features and the products we have. Yeah, let's start with the most new products we have in the market. So we recently launched the upgraded Infinite, and if we would like to look to the numbers and to be more precise, I'm talking about the regular double glass panels with the regular dimensions 1762 length, 1134. So we could hit 500 watt, which is an improvement of 15 watt compared to our previous generation, the Infinite. And if we compare to the TopCon panels, we have 30 to 35 watt increment. So talking about the efficiency, it's 6.4 watt percentage. So this improvement in the power output has, let's say, a great advantage on the yield, and also there's a great advantage for the EPC companies, the installation company. Let's say if you have a certain project size, you can basically reduce the panels in order to achieve that generation capacity of the solar project, and then you can save a lot on the balance of system. So the question is like, what are the values we can provide to the community and our customers? So the values can be, let's say, categorized in 3 groups. First one, high power. So with our panels, you can boost the power from 6 to 10% compared to the regular panels. I refer to the TOPCon technology panels here, and also high returns. So the high power panels will participate to achieve high returns of the solar system, but on the top of that, also we have other features could increase the yield of the solar system, like partial shading optimization, lower temperature coefficient, and lower degradation. And also we have the higher reliability features we will run through. Basically, these high reliability will reduce the operation and maintenance costs for the solar project. So if we look to the big picture, increasing the yield and reducing the operation and maintenance cost, this will enhance the business case of the solar system. So let's start with the high power. So I will just focus here on the white backsheet panels because this is our topic today, the commercial C&I segment of the solar industry. So with the 54 cells panels, also including the infinite technology, we could reach 495 watts with the double glass panels, and for the monoglass panels, 500 watt. So this is also again a big advantage to increase the power output, and has a great impact on the financial business case for the solar system. And the question is how we have managed to do this improvement recently. So the main target was to reduce the non-cell area on the panel level. So what we have done first to fold the current collectors on the backside, and by doing this, basically you can utilize the front surface of the panel. So this increased the power output by 1.4%. We still see the industry see this is a big challenge for the TOPCon technology because they have the electrical circuit from both sides, and it will not be easy for them to fold these collectors to the backside. On the other hand, for the back contact technology, luckily we have the circuit all the way from the backside, so it's not a hassle, I would say. And the other improvement we have done in this direction to also reduce the non-cell area on the front side, we overlap the cells. That's why if you look here, let's go back to this slide, you see it's like kind of strips here, the cells. Basically, they are overlapped, or let's say they are just next to each other. Basically, we don't have this is small gaps between the cells. And this also improved the power output with 0.4%. Actually, we have seen this method in the shingle technology in the last 5 years. They use adhesive material to do the conductivity, but it's not reliable. It showed some reliability issues, especially after operation of 3-5 years. And again, this is a challenge for, let's say, the TOPCon technology because they have the electrical circuit from the backside, which is an advantage for the ABC. Talking about the commercial segment, we have these panels. I think all of them can be applied to the commercial rooftops, different countries, different needs. But basically, we have the 54 cells with a power output up to 500 watts. And we have also the mono double glass version of this panel. Also, we have next to it the 60 cells. This is with the height almost 2 meters. To be more precise, it's 1954. Still, we're talking about the same width, 1134. The power output will be reaching up to 535, expecting also 540 by applying the infinite technology. So I would say these two panels, the 54 and 60 cells, they have the infinite technology. And going further to the 2278 length panels, the power output between 605 to 630. So still there's an advantage, 20 to 25 watts compared to TOPCon. And we have also the regular panel 2382. So I have seen, I would say in the Nordics, some projects they use this big panel for the rooftop, for the flat roof or the pitched roof. Also, some projects they use it for the ground mount utility projects. So we have actually two versions of this panel based on 72 cells and 66 cells. The power output going up to 660, and this gave us an advantage to improve, I would say 40 to 50 watt, because I have seen recently even some TOPCon panels with 620. So we have an advantage of 40 to 50 watt compared to TOPCon panels the same dimensions. So again, this improvement will help you to enhance the financial benefits, or let's say to save on the balance of system from the installation perspective. One of also the features will help you to increase the yield and enhance the financial benefits. It's the partial shading optimization. So let's have a look on this video, basically showing the commercial rooftop projects. So as you know, there's some shading objects like pipes, skylights. So this is inevitable to avoid. They will cause some shading on the panels. So for the AIKO panels in this case, when you have a shade, when you have a slight shade here, for example, on the middle, this will not activate the bypass diode, and basically you just lose the shaded cell. So in this case, you lose 36% of the power output. But for the TOPCon technology, even if you have bird drop or tree leaf covering part of the cell, this directly will activate the bypass diode, and basically you lose the power output, most of the power output of this panel, and also this will affect the entire string. So this is also good, let's say, feature to improve the yield output of the PV project. Let's move on. Yeah, let's move on to also these are the other features will help the solar project to increase the yield and as well the return of the project. This is the temperature coefficient. We have a minus 26% per degree, and for the TOPCon technology 0.29%. So maybe this is more relative to the countries in Southern Europe like Italy, Spain. During the production, they have high temperature, so they can actually get out of this only the temperature coefficient. They can increase the yield by 1.1% if we talk about 60 degrees. If we talk about the Middle East, the temperature could also reach 70%. This is the temperature of the panels, the operating temperature, and then the benefits will be even more. As you know, also lower degradation. This is essential figure and when you are selecting your panels, because the panels has a drop, they degrade over time. So we have a degradation, the annual degradation after the first year, it's 0.35%. For the top one, it's 0.4%. It sounds like a small, let's say, improvement here on the annual rate, but if you consider after 25 or even 30 years, the gap will be 1.5%. So here's the gap. This will be accumulated and improving the energy output of the solar system. This is also very important to do, let's say, this exercise and find out, we call them the financial indicators of the solar system, like the levelized cost of energy or the internal rate of return. So this is a case study where they tested the performance of different technologies like ABC from AIKO, TOPCon panels, and PERC in different 2 countries. So you can see, for example, here for the levelized cost of energy, it drops. It's less than TOPCon. It's 35.2 euro per megawatt hour, and for the TOPCon 36.3. As you know, these big projects, they sell electricity sometimes on a fixed rate, depends on the agreement with the DNO. Let's say, as an average price, I see nowadays in the market 50 euros plus and minus. So basically, you can make more money with the efficient solution from AIKO, and also you can reduce the operation and maintenance. So even though I would say you invest a bit more with the efficient solution as a capex, but you will get better energy output over the operation time and also enhance the cash flow of the project. So this is essential, I would say, exercise to be done for any for the commercial and utility projects. Let's move on. Yeah, let's talk about the high reliability features we have in our panels, which will again improve the operation, reduce the operation and maintenance costs. So first of all, we have upgraded the material in our cells. So we don't use silver at all. We use copper, and the copper is stronger than silver. So this is a big advantage. And also we use the copper electroplating process. So there's no, I would say, heat stress, heat dissipation on the wafer. On the other side, using the laser centering will cause, like this is in the TOPCon technology, they use laser centering. This affects the wafer and affects its performance by time. Also, we have a full electrical circuit using the copper. We have seen in the industry a few TOPCon panels, they are now combining both like silver and copper, but yeah, we use basically full copper circuit, and this is also an improvement in terms of stress and micro cracks. And last but not least, since we have back contact technology, we don't have the Z-shape welding or soldering between the cells, and we are avoiding, in this case, the stress could start at the edge of the cells and have more potential to have micro cracks. And as you know, micro cracks is something you don't have to have in your projects. Talking about the micro cracks, we have done here a test in this video where we hit the 3 types of cells with the 2 kilograms, and we measured the let's say the current loss before and after. So if we look to the figures here after we have done this test, let's move forward. Just give me a second. So the back contact here, this is the AIKO cell, and this is the normal back contact using silver. and this is the TOPCon. So 18% loss, the other one almost 30, and TOPCon 40. So this is also something you have to consider in your selection, because it will affect the output of the solar project. And also we have other feature under the reliability umbrella. It's the high temperature restriction. So let's see this video how we do this test. Basically, we shade half cut cell for 1 hour for two panels. On the left side, our panel, and on the right side, TOPCon panel. And we see the temperature after 1 hour. So the temperature here goes up to 147 degrees. And with the AIKO cell, it's only 100 degrees. So this is also an improvement from the operation and maintenance perspective, will reduce the cost. Moving on, we have actually a fire class A as per the IEC standard for all our double glass panels. And this could be also a key to win some projects where they have this as a requirement. Also, this is a big improvement for the insurance company. So we use basically 2 millimeters glass from the front and back side, while other, let's say, not all TOPCon panels using 1.6 millimeters, but I have seen plenty of these panels, they use 1.6 millimeters. And here's an advantage also to have a double glass panel with a higher fire rating. For some countries, this is also an advantage to have an advantage hail test performance, especially, and I have seen in Switzerland, they have a hailstorm. So we have, with our monoglass panels, we have passed the test of 40 millimeters hail diameter, and with a double glass 35 millimeters. So for the TOPCon technology, we have seen the standard test is 25 millimeter. So this is also another advantage for some countries are facing these hail strikes. When it comes also to the C&I, as you know, it's very important to sometimes to provide these certificates. So if you need one of these certificates in terms of bankability, ESG topic nowadays is very important. So we try to fulfill, let's say, the market requirement. So if you need such a certificate, you can always get in touch with us, and we can provide you with these documents. Yeah, let's say during the technical due diligence process with your customers. Yeah, it's time to maybe now focus on the C&I market and look to the C&I analysis. And here I'm mainly focusing on the German market, but again, we can also do this exercise for other countries. So if you have a specific customer with a specific case, we can run this exercise we will be reviewing now, because it's more or less the same concept. You simulate and see the performance of the different options, and you realize the yield, and then you reflect this energy to money and see the feasibility and the financial benefits of these two options. So I would like to start with the manufacturing segment, because this is a big segment in Germany. And we have seen that electricity prices recently increasing or volatiling. So in 2022, we have seen really a high peak for the electricity prices. And I would say in Germany, 45% of electricity is used by the manufacturing segment. So this is a big, I would say, market for the PV panels, and even the owners of these manufacturing facilities, they started to consider the PV projects more and more. So I would say it's a big potential market for the C&I here in Germany. I think it's not less than 5 gig annually. So it's really a huge market. We can push the solar panels in this segment. And if we look for this business case, let's look to the numbers here, because we have to run this exercise and dive to this level in order to understand the difference between, let's say, the different technologies, different options, and how we can improve. So this is for example, for this facility, their annual electricity consumptions is 5 megawatt hour, and they pay 16 cents per kilowatt hour, which is, I would say, as an average price. We have seen even some facilities paying up to 22 cents, depends on their consumption and depends on the contract they can secure with the electricity company. And yeah, depends also on the long how many years they sign with the DNOs, basically. And let's say if they would like to invest and have a PV system, they have to pay this much, like 8,000. No, this is, let's say, the annual cost they pay for the electricity on this price rate, 16 cents, without having any PV system. And such a big consumption facility, they have actually a big roof. You can find such big facilities in Germany, and they have a potential to install 4, or in this case, a 3.9 megawatt peak system. And their annual generation going up to something around 4,000 megawatt hour. And if we consider that still they need to import from the electricity, the deficit, let's say this much, and self-consume how much they produce. So basically they can save the self-consumption on 16%, and which is a lot of money, 694,000. And if we look to the payback time with this, let's say, option is something around 4.1 years. And I'm considering here 30 years of operation. We could do the analysis on 25 years based on the business model, but as an initial assumption, we consider 30 years because this is the lifetime of the solar panels. And the question is how we can improve this number, how we can shorten the payback time, how we can make more profit. And basically the answer, it's always good to use efficient panels, because when you use efficient panels, you can increase the generation capacity, and you can produce more energy. So even though you have slightly, you increase the initial capex of the project, because efficient solution normally costs slightly more, but overall it's the financial performance of the project will be even better. So let's look here again to this comparison. We have 3 columns. This column, we don't have any PV system, so the electricity cost annually is 800,000. And here, if they install a regular PV system, let's say TOPCon technology, they will pay for the grid 176,000, and as an annual saving, they will save 624. And if you go to the efficient solution from AIKO with a bigger system size, basically the annual electricity cost will be reduced even to 125,000. This is much you pay to the grid. And as an annual saving, the bill will be reduced by 674,500 euros, more or less. So this is the system investment. You can see with AIKO investment, you are basically investing slightly more. But if you look to the energy cost over the 30 years, it's less with with AIKO solution, and as a total cost reduction is going even to 73%, the payback time will be shortened. And if you look to the return of investment, it's also improving with AIKO solution. And as a net gain over TopCon, so with AIKO solution, you can do 100 or let's say 1,400,000 euro more money. So again, you are investing slightly at the beginning, in this case, something around 130,000. But if you look to the to the um, to the net profit over the lifetime, it's 1,000,000 and it's 300. So it's a lot of money. So it's always good, to communicate this value to the end user, to the asset owner, because I don't think all of them know the difference between the technologies. And I think this is a way to distinguish your solution among other, let's say, solutions in the market, to go with efficient solution and show the value to the end user. Also, we have a big potential to push the PV system for the retail business here in Germany. So if we look to the electricity price for this segment, like 25 years ago in 2000, the electricity price was only 8.5 cents per kilowatt hour. Nowadays, as an average price, it's 22, depends on the region of Germany. So if you go to the East Europe, the price around 18 cents per kilowatt hour. If you go to the southern part of Germany, like Stuttgart and Munich, the price is going up to 24 cent per kilowatt hour. Sorry, just. So out of these numbers, you can conclude that there's a good business case with the PV panel, and we have a big chance to push the PV panels to save their electricity bills. So if we look again to the same exercise we have done for the industry segment, we basically we can see, let's say we can run through the same analysis, the same study, but with a regular solution on a high electricity price, 23 cents. They can save annually 80,000 of their, they can cut 80,500 from electricity bill. And if we look to the payback time, it's 3 years and 0.04. And if we would like even to enhance and improve the business case, we can use efficient solution from AIKO. And here we can look to the numbers. The payback time got even shorter. It's less than 3 years, 2.8. And if you consider the net gain over the lifetime of the project, it's 182,000 more the TopCon solution. And if you just keep an eye on the initial investment, this is a small project, I think 500 kilowatt peak, even a 350 kilowatt peak. So this is a small rooftop project in Germany. So if we look to the initial investment, it's like 13,000 more, but on the other hand, you secure a lot of benefits over the lifetime. And last but not least, the agrivoltaics. This is we have in Germany. I'm not sure actually about other countries in Europe, but mainly we have this in Germany. So if the farmer install PV systems and keep, let's say, their crops, so they have an active farmland, and at the same time they have PV panels, they can go with this scheme, the agrivoltaics. And the big advantage here from the government to encourage these kind of projects, they even increase the feed-in tariff. So if you look here, different system sizes, normally in Germany for the projects less than, or let's say 100 kilowatt peak and less, they get this much of money per kilowatt hour, depends on the state. But for the agri PV, it's kind of encouragement for them. They can get up to 11.5 2 cents. And the same thing here for the bigger system, you can see an improvement. So I think it's really good them to think about PV, and yeah, the business case even is better than the regular, let's say, commercial buildings. Yeah, we can also look again to these analysis. It's the same concept here. Even they have a big advantage. They can get 250,000 as a local subsidy. So basically, the investment will be saved by 50% in this case, and the payback time is only 1.6 years. And if you think about how we could improve this, basically use efficient solution, and you can improve here the system size. The installed capacity will be improved from 1 megawatt peak to 1 megawatt peak and 55 kilowatt peak on the top of that. So basically you improve the generation unit by 5.5%, and you can increase the annual generation by 8%. And in terms of revenue, it's 12,342 more than the traditional panels. So I would say the key thing here, the key idea is to use efficient solution and increase the technical performance. In other words, the yield, the energy output of the PV system, and also enhance the business case. I think I'm done with this business case. Yeah, this is the voice of our customers. So these are some commercial buildings in south of Europe, from Italy. This is a mall in Berlin. Basically, they generate the energy and they sell it to the tenants, and it's really good business case for the owner. And also a few agrivoltaics projects, mainly in Germany. So I think I am done with the webinar today. Yeah, I forgot to mention that it's always good to be part of our community. Basically, you can scan this QR code and you can register and be part of AIKO installer community. And we have interesting benefits. Actually, you can basically register. You can do the exam. There's very basic exam. You can win 500 points, even if you refer to one of AIKO emails, like my email or one of other colleagues. You can gain another 300. So in total, it's 800 points. And in the future, if you buy AIKO panels, you can basically gain more points. And the biggest advantage, or the biggest thing you can claim, you can go to China and visit our factory. So I think this year more than 50 installers they could manage to reach the points which is required to claim the China tour. But also on the other hand, we have many small things. Here's like a laser meter. It's really handy, and you can also find other things you can claim. So I encourage you to be certified installer. You can also get a certificate to be certified installer from AIKO. Also collect the points, and just fly to China. I think it's interesting to go and see the factory as well. Yeah, I think this is all for the webinar today. Let's leave the ground to get some questions from the audience. Let's see. So there's a question from Laurent Gondry. Hi, what will be the available maximum power now and at the end of the year? Yeah, so it depends on the panel dimensions. If we talk about the regular panel dimension 1762, by 1134, it's 490, 495. Next year, I think Q1 next year will be even, we will have the 500. If you talk about the big panels, 2382 length by 1134 width, it's 650, 655, depends on like short or long cable. Normally, when you have a long cable, you have a 5-watt loss. So these are the power output for the small and big panel. And for the 60 cells, we have now the 510, 515, and soon we have the infinite technology will be integrated, and then we will hit the 535 watt with the 60 cells. So the length of this panel will not exceed 2 meters. It's 1954 millimeters. So this is for the power output, but it depends on let's say your country, and normally if you're buying through distributors, it depends on the available stock there. But if you have a decent volume, big projects, you can always try to reach us, and there's a chance always to buy directly for the big projects. You don't have to go through distributors, and you can also save the money and save your cost and make more profit. So I don't see other questions. So yeah, there's another question also. Yeah, from the same, no, from Laurent. No, from Alexandro. In intersolar, you market AIKO will be produced. So this is the big panel, the 800 watt. This is the length of this panel, 24, just for the audience. The length of the 800 watt panel is 2465 with the width 1303. So this panel is still under, let's say, development. It will be released on the mass production, I would say, next year, end of Q2. So this will be also a big game changer for the utility scale projects, because the power we can see nowadays for such dimension, 720, and then you can improve the power output. I would say if we don't even hit the 800, we could easily reach 775 on the mass production. So the 800, sometimes this is the result we have in the lab, but on the mass production, 770 to 780. So with a 50 to 60 watt more than I would say the regular TOPCon panels. When will be available in Europe? If you ask about the big panel, so in China, it will be available Q2 next year. Put on the top of that 2 months. So I would say between June and August you can. But if you have a big project, it's always like big solar park. It's always good to communicate in advance so we can secure this volume. Any question from the decent audience? Ali is raising his hand, so I'm not sure if you have any question. Ali, Salami, just go ahead. You can maybe type in the question box. I don't see new questions so far. But yeah, I encourage you, if you have a specific case study, one potential customer, you can always try to engage AIKO team, because we have product solution managers in all Europe, in all regions. They can help you to explain the value to the end customer. Yeah. Why do I need to get in touch if I have? Let me see. There's Ali Salami. Who do I need to get in touch if you have a big volume? You can basically reach me. This is the easiest way, and I will help you to find the right person. Let me put also my email in the chat. Muhammad.alishroof@aikosolar.com. So here's my email. I will also try to put it. I put it in the chat box, but I'll try also to put it in the question. Yeah, here's my email. So I put it in the chat box. I put it also in the question in case you can just get it. So this is the question from Ali. Next, Adriana, she said, could we get the presentation? Definitely. Just try to send me an email. I will send you. The thing is, the PPT file has some videos. It's really huge. I could send you the PDF version. For the videos, you can always find them on our LinkedIn page or YouTube channel. So just to try to, to get that. Just send me an email. I will manage to send you that. I don't see more questions now. Okay, guys. So if you don't have more questions, I would like to thank you one more time for your attendance, and you can always get in touch with us if you have any question. I wish you a nice day, and let's keep in touch and see you in the next round. Thank you, everyone. Cheers and have a nice day. Ciao.